Hey, this is Mark Friedman from Tulip, and I want to share with you an application today that is a photo album, basically. It's a pretty common request that I've seen on the community and elsewhere, and that is that people Tulip tables let you put a photo in or a video in, but sometimes people on that same record want to have multiple photos, and you can just add more fields, and that works for some people, but what if you have an arbitrary number of photos? What if you don't know how many photos you have? Maybe you have two photos, or maybe you have 20 photos, and you don't know you're always going to have four photos. So, or maybe you want more than that one. You have to add another field. So, what's a good way for people to do that? I wanted to share an option here, and it's really just a photo album. So the way it works basically is, you know, all the photos are stored in a single table here. You can see they're all just, excuse me, they're all stored here, and you can have as many as you like, and they have a reference field. So what you do when you want to recall these photos or store the photos is you just indicate what your reference is. Now this reference could be anything. It could be a photo album title. In this case, that's what we're doing here. But it could also be, for example, a Kaizen activity. You want to take before and after photos. So the reference is your Kaizen name and then before, and then there's the Kaizen name after, and that lets you basically pull all these photos up. So let me show you how that works. Here you can see a few options of how to display them, but basically I've selected demo photo album, so I'm filtering on the photos here. If I click on them, you can just view them and you can see their description. So you can write descriptions, you can delete the photos, add more photos, and all sorts of things there. I can also select other albums and display those. So this is one way of displaying your photos. You can also create an album here if you wanted to, just, new album. And what it's going to do is just basically allow you to start adding photos to this one. So no big deal. For viewing the photo album, you can use a few options. One is the one I showed you here. The other one is a slideshow. The other one's a gallery. So slideshow is basically looking at one at a time. I can click on here, and I can just click right to go right through the photo album. And if I get to the end, it's going to loop, or I can go backwards. And this is just a neat little widget you may want to pop into your application if this is how you want to manage your photos. Another way is a gallery. Sometimes you want to look at maybe a bunch of it at the same time. So here I can actually look at 4 at a time. I could look at 6 at a time if I wanted to, but in this case I built 4. And as I press this button here, you'll see everything shifts to the register shifts to the left here. And I can just keep clicking here until I get to the end, and then it won't let me click anymore. So here's another way of just viewing your photos. This application, on its own, I'm not sure how much utility it has. There's probably other software you can use for photo albums. But if you want something like this in your application, maybe you want to show, a highlight reel, for example, or best practices through your facility. You want to just have it kind of cycle through your photos. This is a pretty nice option to use Tulip to do that sort of thing. And you could have people all uploading to the same place. It could be a lot of fun. So there's a lot of utility for this in other applications, and hopefully you think so as well. Take care.